We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us out in birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tận tình, vì thứ phao hội cấp nhật thiết chúng sanh, tinh chuyên diệu phạm luân giao đạo ngã mùng, như há liêu sanh thoáng tư ly khổ đạc lạc, tốc chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and perfectly enlightened one. Nam mô Sadanto Suchedo Ye Ulahudi San Miao San Puto Sie. Nam mô Tạc Đạc Tha Tô Ya Đa Ya La Ha De Tham Miao Tham Mô Đà Thoa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual doctrines. Wu sheng 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 wei miao fa bai qian, 万劫难遭遇我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Sutra, Great Master YongHua, all good monks and nuns, and all good advisors of Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、经智者大士、师父、上人、各位出家人、各位善知识Emitofuo. Chư Phật Bồ Tát kính thưa Trí Giả Đại sư, Thượng Tiên Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức ca Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 26th of July 2024, 5. Thank you for joining our discussion of the Vimalakirti Sutra. We are right now on slide 327, beginning of the second chapter of Vimalakirti, giving us more details about the beings in attendance. In the prior chapter, we learned about the 32,000 bodhisattvas, actually mahasattvas in attendance. And here we're learning about the rest, heavenly being, eightfold divisions, and so forth. All right? So right now it's talking about anagamin. This is the Sanskrit word, which means the third stage arhat. And what's special about this particular level of achievement, quite a few of you have reached this or surpassed this already. Now that we tell you, that you severed the desire realm delusions. Okay, the world we live in is our world has three realms: desire realm, formless realm. In order for you to get to this level of wisdom, you need through the Buddhist practices, by the way, unless you go through Buddhist practices. The Buddhas, with his great wisdom, conferred upon us the knowledge on how to get to third stage arhats. And so this is truly unique to Buddhist wisdom. The non-Buddhists have no way of getting there. On the surface, for example, some of them got there and so forth and higher because they, in a prior life, they were practicing Buddhists and then they attained this level already or higher already. That's why now they come back and do whatever they do, whether it's Buddhists or non-Buddhists, they still are able to reach this level. Okay? And so this is why it's very important for us to try our best to develop our wisdom now, because it's a high water level mark. In the future, we be able to reach a level again pretty easily in this world. All right? Without having to go through and be Buddhist again, if you wish. So this, what is this? This is, as the slide here in 327 says, third stage among the four stages of Shravakayana, the sound hearer, sagehood, in early Buddhist teaching. So the Buddha, when he started teaching, he taught the Agama teachings, so Hinayana teaching, and so he, in that particular era of the Buddha's teaching, he first started, so he provided the foundation for cultivation. There's no reason for you to look down upon the Shravaka or the sound hearers, okay? Because we all have to go through this part of our foundation. And according to the Tien Thai school, they divided, the Tien Thai great masters provided a very extensive level of details that describes to us the nature of this level of wisdom, attainment, if you will. Okay? So it says here, this level here had completely eliminated the 9 grades of desire-based defilements. Okay, of the desire realm. So if you are in the desire realm where we live right now, we have 9 grades of desires. Okay, and so when you go through your spiritual path, you basically are eliminating these delusions based on the desires that we have in our desire realm. What kind of desires do we have here? G.I. Joe? Name one.
Desire of being in love.
Oh no, how did you guess? Read my mind. That's the biggest one in our desire realm. We desire all sorts of things, and all those things are derivatives of that fundamental desire for sex. Okay? So that's why we, as you go through this cultivation path, you have to gradually work on these naturally. All right? Yes. Next. So if all 9 grades of defilements are eradicated, okay, the different grades of defilements in the desire realm are eradicated, then you have certified to the fruit of anagami. Okay. However, if only 7 or 8 grades are eradicated, it is said you're approaching anagami. Okay, meaning you're not quite there yet. Okay, it takes 1 more grade for you to get there. Okay, what it means though is very, very important. It means when you reach third stage Arhat, you consider to be above us all in the desire realm. Therefore, you can be trusted. Because you no longer are confused by the abundance of desire in our realm. Okay? Because those below that third stage Arhat, they're confused. They just don't know it. All right? So as a third stage Arhat, you're able to get out of it, rise above it, and therefore you can see a lot clearer than the rest of us. Is that clear? So this is why it's a revered position, and it carries many, many privileges, many wonderful things you're able to do. We're not here to brag about it, but eventually you will learn more and you're able to take advantage of those benefits. It's a private club. It has its wonderful privileges. Well worth it, I assure you. Okay? If it weren't the case, it wouldn't be called wisdom. Next, 329. If 7 or 8 are eliminated, with 1 or 2 subtle defilements. Again, at this level of wisdom, the delusion are very subtle. Requiring further effort, transform them into non-defiled roots. And the practitioner will need to be born once more in the desire realm to complete this. This is referred to as ekafsika, whatever. I mean, one life. So, in other words, low level, instead of 9, clearing out all 9 grades of desires here in our realm, you only clear out 7 or 8. Then you are considered to be once returner. Okay? Meaning that at the end of your life, okay, eventually you'll be born into the heavens. Okay? And then when you are born in the heavens, okay, eventually when you exhausted your heavenly blessing, you fall back down the human realm. Eventually. Then, in that one lifetime, you become a 4th stage Arhat. That's why you call once returner. You go to the heaven and eventually go down, meanders around until you get to the human realm. Okay? And then, at the end of your human realm, okay, you certify to 4th stage Arhat. Yes, 9.
Master, are there 8 or 9 levels? Is that it? A level of the desires?
Yeah, different grades of desires, not levels. Grades, they call it grades. Okay? Is that clear? This is very, very special. Whereas 3rd stage Arhat, what happens to them? Which is mentioned 2nd stage Arhat, where they get up to the heavens, eventually get down to human realm, and they become 4th stage Arhat automatically, because it's the nature of the blessings. That's why these Arhats, 1, 2, 3, 4, are very, very special beings. Okay? Whereas 3rd stage Arhats, they go to the heavens, okay? At the end of the heavenly life, they will certify to 4th stage Arhat automatically. So it's the coolest of the cool. You guaranteed success. Okay? Just make it to that heaven, eventually you guarantee success. Any questions? It's very special membership. Yes, 3.
Thank you, Master. Sorry, I wasn't here for the previous lecture on this. Have the 9 defilements been explained already, or are we going to get to that?
No, we don't go to the 9 defilements because it's too tiantai, meaning it's too much information. Okay? It's not necessary. It's not necessary to know that we have a faster approach than the tiantai style. Tiantai, they stress erudition, so they stress knowledge, and that could be a detriment to your spiritual path when you stress too much on knowledge. So that's why tiantai, for a while, they're very useful, and they're still considered highly revered right now because of the scholars and the people who like to study sutras and so forth. But in practical terms, in a Chinese school, we feel that it's too much information, if you will. Okay? So that's why my teacher, Master YongHua, talked about different grades of delusion, 9 grades, 81 grades, 88 grades, and so forth. 88 grades of view delusion, 81 grades of thought delusions, and so forth. That's what the tiantai people, they break it down into far greater details. And to us, to me personally as well, it's too much information. It's not necessary. Okay? That's why, for example, many of our people, many of you have reached 1, 2, 3 A's, and you don't even need to know about these grades of desires at all. It shows you that our approach is more direct. We less focused on knowledge. We just want to know enough. Okay? Too much knowledge sometimes is a burden. You carry excess baggage. Okay, so for us, especially Weiyang lineage, we are a lot leaner, a lot more nimble in that sense. Okay? All right. Next, 330. Dragons, when they talk about the eightfold division, so eightfold division are 8 different classes of beings, spiritual beings, whose jobs are to protect the way places. Okay, when you have a way place like this, it looks like it's a church. Okay, for a while we didn't even have a sign, Way Mountain Temple. Okay. But to the invisible beings, they know it's a temple. They would not make a mistake. They would say, oh, they wouldn't fly by and look, hey, that's a church. What are these dragons doing here? You know, they don't ever do that because they understand clearly. We have this aura, this energy, like rocks, of a temple. So naturally, all these heavenly beings would naturally gather around and serve as Dharma protectors and surround and protect us so that we can cultivate. Okay, for way places only. So this is what their jobs are. They're supposed to surround and protect and the way places. One of them, one eightfold division, is the dragons. That group there, one of the 8 group is the group of dragons. Okay, dragons basically are snakes. Okay, so animal realms, and it has its proper retribution. Some of the terms that we should know a little. Proper retribution meaning proper meaning to you. Okay, and depend meaning that outside. Okay, you depend on something else. Okay, depend on externals. So it's kind of cool. The dragons. Okay, they have the body of snakes. That's why you see those drawings, the images of dragon we see in temples. actually is from the spiritual eyes. They can actually see that shape. Okay? Those of you who've been telling me you see it's a being, can you see dragons? That would impress me. Okay? You see the big shots, then you're special. When you see little shots, I'd rather have a drink, real drink. Excuse me, my bad habits. Okay? So, the dragons are spiritual beings, okay? They're very, very powerful. And look at them. They live in palaces made of the 7 treasures. Okay? So just like the deities, heavenly beings, they live in heavenly palaces made of 7 gems, so do dragons. And guess what? They're richer, a lot richer than we are. And that's what they do. That's why they stand up there, surrounding themselves, on this temple here. They said, why do I need to protect these losers again? They're so poor compared to me. Look at what kind of car they drive. They can't even fly. Okay, so the dragons, you can tell, quite a few of them are depressed. They ask themselves, they have so many doubts. What are we doing here? Are these people for real? Okay, and so they can transform to proper human forms. Okay, so they have spiritual transformations. Okay, sometimes they transform into a human being. Okay, looking like any of you, white, black, yellow, red. Okay, they can transform. That's called spiritual penetration. See how powerful they are. Can you transform? Okay, that's the kind of spiritual penetration that would impress me. Since when do we stoop down to being impressed, seeing things? Transform into a dragon. Okay? Bring a few of these 7 gems to my temple, please. Gold. I can settle with gold. $3,375 per ounce right now. I just checked last night. Okay? That would be impressive. And they live in such balances. All they have to do is go to the wall and take a screwdriver and take out a little brick size, and we become a millionaire. Now, G.I. Joe is thinking, I'd love to be a dragon. Go is so impressed. Okay, so they have spiritual penetrations. Master Srinivas says, if you want to propagate the Dharma, you need to have dragons, because these beings are very fierce. They use spiritual powers to overwhelm the opposition. They don't hesitate. Have you watched Game of Thrones? That's it. They burn you. They barbecue you. Okay? How they become dragons? They were lax in precept but hasty in their vehicle, meaning they practice mantras, forward to hands and eyes. Okay? Lots of mantras. Okay? And then chant, but they're loose. They don't keep precepts. That's how they eventually become dragons. All right? Many of you have a chance to become dragons in the future. All right, next. Next eightfold division type will be Yakshas. Okay? The ghosts. These are ghosts. The ghosts, they're truly troublemakers. they're there to cause problems for us. Yaksha means swift and light. And light is not the light dark. Light here is very light, like balloons. Okay, swift and light meaning they can walk on the air, you will. Okay, the three kinds: earthbound, sky, and celestial. I didn't know about celestials. The earthbound meaning they cannot fly. Sky, they can fly. Okay, and just wait till the rest of it. Why some of them? And those are served deities, meaning that they can go to the heavens. Okay, and they broke precepts. They fell in the ghost realm, and due to malicious nature, take on yaksha form. So you see, those you are malicious. When Master told you not to harm, not to hurt others, you don't listen. You say, I don't like him. I don't care what Master says. I want to hurt him. Eventually, you become yaksha. Because you learn, you cultivate it, so you have the blessings, okay? And you become, eventually, you regret it. And you say, oh, I got to listen to Master YongHua. And then, too late, you become a yaksha, okay? And when you get to see, you will get to see the Buddha and hear the Dharma because you practice a big vehicle. With little practice of giving, so you receive minor retribution because of your donation. Kind of funny, okay? I want you to think about this. Donations of chariots and horses, they can fly in the sky. So what should you all be thinking? Not here, but you there. I'm looking at a camera, your camera, the one that's working. It's still working. Huh? What should you be thinking? Think red cars. Okay? Then give chariots and horses, okay? BMW bikes. Never mind, you don't find it funny. Never mind. So hard to please people when you tell them the truth. They're so ungrateful. You teach them how they become yakshas, okay? No. Are they grateful? No, of course not. Okay, next one, Asuras. Asuras, to be without alcohol and have large bodies, huge bodies, okay? They gather flowers from the heavens, beneath the heavens, to brew alcohol in the sea, and they couldn't brew it. It's amazing, think about it. The Asuras are not very bright. They can simply look up YouTube. There's plenty of directions on how to brew alcohol. No, they don't believe in YouTube. And that's why they have to turn without alcohol. And they get very upset and say, I've been brewing alcohol. I collected a lot of flowers, okay? But never could make alcohol. Interesting, huh? They're called non-deities because they have the same level of blessings as heavenly beings, but they don't have the virtues of heavenly beings, therefore they cannot live in the heavens. Think about it. We teach you about virtues. This is why. When you lack virtues, you don't deserve to be up there. Okay, yeah, and they also called Asura in Sanskrit that has multiple meaning. One meaning is without alcohol. Another meaning is not proper. Okay, meaning that male Asuras are so ugly. Okay, and female Asuras are so irresistible. Okay, It's kind of funny. Have you seen a lot of good-looking women who hooked up with very ugly men? Yeah, many, right? Probably a Asura couple. Doesn't bother them. Yes, sir. 9.
Seen a lot of beautiful women with very ugly dispositions.
Let's not worry about that. Let's worry about ugly women and ugly men. That is incomprehensible to me. Furthermore, why are men, female, and both male asuras, men are ugly and female are beautiful? Because of their proper retribution. In the past, they had jealousy and annoyance towards others, and they're often fearful. Okay, DTT people, are you paying attention? Anyone who's jealous and annoyed towards others, don't say the master hasn't warned you. You're going to be asura. And they will say, oh, I want to be beautiful. Some men say, oh no, I won't have any alcohol. Lots of beautiful women, wives, but no alcohol. Anyway. No questions? You learn all you need to learn about being a Asura, okay? How you're going to get there. Garudas is the third type of eightfold division. Golden-winged birds, these are huge birds. And they have golden wings, okay? They're there because their arrogance. However, they practice giving, and therefore they have a wish-fulfilling gems on the neck. Okay? And the neck there, so the neck has a wish-fulfilling pearl, meaning it can have anything it wants. Very, very powerful. And they eat dragons. And what they do, they actually, these Garudas, they live here with us, and they gather gods, humans, and dragons, and they actually are pretend to be carnivores. Yeah, they actually, Master YongHua says, actually, the Garudas, they're like golden-winged pung birds, and what they do is they catch dragons like they catch an earthworm, and they go like this. To dragons. And dragon is kind of funny. Dragons, as soon as they take a look at the Garudas, they freeze. They can't do anything. And that's why the Garudas would just go and pluck them up and yum yum, so delicious. And so, but they are Mahasattvas. They are big bodhisattvas. So Master YongHua says, don't be fooled by appearances. It turns out that Garudas are actually bodhisattvas, and they select the dragons who are about to die anyway. For example, older dragons who are supposed to croak very soon, so they pick them up and they eat to help speed them up a little. Okay? Or maybe another dragon might have a car accident soon, so got that? All right. That's the Garudas for you. And interesting, all these beings, and they have a lot of spiritual powers. Next group, Kinaras. Yes, sir. Now he's interested in, let me guess, Asuras.
Thank you, Master. Actually, the eightfold division all together protect the way place, right?
Yeah.
But the dynamic is that the Garudas protect the way place, the dragons protect the way place, and the Garudas eat the dragons.
Not the ones who are here.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry. They are prohibited from attacking each other. It's only all the dragons of the other temples. So they go over there. That one there, but not our own temple.
Yeah, in the interest of the dragons, that was a pretty hostile workplace environment.
So DEI, no wonder. Clearly, he's a Democrat. Okay, good point. No, they don't. There is no cannibalism within a temple. Outside a temple, they do anything they want. We don't care. Okay, but here at temple, there are rules. No cannibalism. Okay. It's not that far. That temple, they also has dragons. There are 3 temples around here. 4, I count another one not far from here. It's a one flap of the wing and whoo! All right? There's plenty of food, let me tell you. All right. Next one, Kinaras. Doubtful spirits. They are horn, one single horn, like this, on the head. Okay, right here. Okay, that horn. Okay, so it looks like Satan, except it's not red. You've seen Satan, right? Satan is kind of reddish. Okay, yeah. And Kinara, okay, they have like Satans without the red color. Okay, so Satan, you spray, regular color, orange maybe. Democrat, clearly. Okay, so you have the horn here. Okay, they actually, it's kind of interesting. I didn't know that. Okay, because Master Shah didn't give us all the detail. Here, Master Tutor tells us a little bit more, a few more angles. They are celestial musicians specializing in string and bamboo instruments, meaning, what's that? The flutes, okay? The string instruments, the lutes, okay, and so forth. Those are their specialties. They are slightly have slightly fewer blessings in Gandharvas. That's next. Okay, they're fond of music and melodies. Okay, born in realms of spirits. Okay, and become musicians again. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? Now you know how these guys are drawn to us. He thinks it's the mental challenges. No. It's in the heart. He loves music and melodies. Okay, and can't you tell? He's more interested in creating blessings. Okay, and so do little cultivation of merit and virtue. Okay, and these Kinaras, they can be subdued by bodhisattvas who dwell in the samadhi of blissful mind. Okay, and so this is why they became Buddhist converts because they converted by the bodhisattvas through their samadhis. Forget about love. Convert samadhi. Okay? Anyway, next, Mahoragas. Okay, the pythons, they're huge. It's huge, as I said before, a bore tunnel. Okay, and earth dragons, meaning they're dragons who just roam, who just move on earth. Okay, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Ooh. Ugly looking. And they're bodhisattvas. Kind of weird. Don't you think? You think that they're like more cultured. No. They're called deities of temples in the world, consuming alcohol and meat offered by people. It turns out that in many Buddhist temples, especially Hinayana temples, they receive a lot of offerings of meat and alcohol. Not fish, it's meat. And these beings would consume alcohol, okay? The monks and nuns would consume alcohol, and they like to break precepts, okay? Not only do they break precepts, they also like to flatter people, very prone to anger, little giving, and they crave for alcohol and meat and fall into realms of spirits. Anyone? Is that me? Who says, that's me? Okay. And the Mahoragas, the problem, the insects enter the bodies and feed on them. So it's like little thing. In past, due to modest giving, humility, and respect, okay, I receive offerings from people in vehicle, hasty, encounter Buddha to hear the Dharma. Okay, and so in the past, they give a little bit, did practice some giving, but they're humble and they're respectful. All right? That's why they become Mahoragas. Any questions? Isn't that interesting? See, when you practice, we all have a lot of imperfections. And we gather them all. We don't. In Buddhism, we don't reject people. Okay? We don't throw people and say, no, you're not good enough. Okay? So these that's why eventually these beings, they look back and say, oh my God, I was such a bad and horrible person, and yet the triple jewel nurtured me and protected me and taught me how to cultivate. That's why they become grateful and they come back and resolve to protect the cultivators out of gratitude. Any questions or comments? Yes, 9.
Master, I have a question unrelated. It's about last week's lecture.
Yes.
Last week, the Chan talk for Asia on Friday. I think it was about Master Shinhwa, Great Master Shinhwa after he died, and if the Dharma brothers were supposed to teach you, but then they didn't teach you the proper way. But then did you say that the real lesson was that don't be like them, and then that was the lesson because they couldn't teach you the right questions?
Yeah, when you learn in general two ways. If people have wisdom, teach you, then you imitate them. If people have no real wisdom, then you also can learn from them by doing the exact opposite. So that's why in cultivation, there's chances for you to learn from everyone. You don't necessarily have to learn from someone who's better than you, but you can learn from someone who's not as good as you, or even your peers, or even your inferiors. Okay? And it's a good reference point. When you, typically, the Buddhists are taught to look at the sages, idolize the masters. Master cannot go wrong, and therefore whatever master does, I do as well. Okay? And that's one way. But that's not a complete way of learning, by the way. You should also look at things that master cannot do well. Until master becomes a Buddha, he's going to have holes in his skill set, holes in his wisdom. Only losers, like Jung's friends, would say, my master is perfect. My master can do no wrong. Don't tell me about that thing. You're wrong, it's not my master is wrong. Okay? So when I speak those things, it's to remind you, remind me, remind his disciples, my peers, so forth. You know, we all have holes. We all have things to work on. Only losers would say, I'm perfect. Okay? And this is why it's helpful when you hear these people, because I really appreciate people telling me, you know, I don't like you, I hate you because you dare criticize our master. Okay? And I appreciate that honesty. You know, I really appreciate it, that you have the guts to tell me in my face. Okay? At the same time, I learned from that. My reaction is, I hope you die and you go to hell. Boys and girls, do we understand each other? And the world is not worse off because you're not there. Okay? Actually, they're better off. Anyway, and so it's perfectly okay. People praise you, criticize you. It's all the same. Don't get afflicted. Okay? So that's how I learn. Because you don't always have a chance to be a good no advisor. So, because I looked for a good no advisor after Master YongHua died, I look and look and look and look. Okay, I could not find anyone. I read and read and read. I couldn't find anyone. The ones that I was supposed to learn from, like Master Tutor, like the great Chinese masters, I didn't have access to their materials, nor could I understand their Chinese teachings. They're so advanced that it was not translated into English. You couldn't understand these masters, like Master YongMingshou. No one dared translate his teachings into English or any language. Okay, especially in English. YongMingshou, great Master YongMingshou, he left behind a set of 3 books this thick in Chinese. I told you a few times already. I read 1/2 page, and my head was spinning. In the Kung Fu movie, it means that your head, white smoke is coming up the top of your head. And you're going to go berserk very soon, if you're not there already. I'm serious. I actually took the time to read half of a page. That's how long I lasted. I said, oh. I nearly went demonic state. It's too much. Okay? So that's why my limitation was that my master, I could not find anyone to replace my master, so I studied my master in English. You know, I started when I left the association, their association. I had 40, maybe not even 40, 25 tapes, cassette tapes that he talked about. One Yin Bodhisattva, talks about Chan, talked about Hua To, talked about things. And I would listen to it over and over and over and over again. Okay? 100 times. And when I had a chance to cultivate on my own, then meditated every day, and I started listening to his Chinese tapes. Could understand about 20%, 30%. But I did that, okay? Because in between that and listening to the English tapes, I went to learn Chinese. And so that's how I learned. I learned from these teachers. And eventually, I began to be able to read a lot of Chinese texts, okay? But same problem. They really are confused. Therefore, a lot of it is garbage. Okay, but what's telling for me, what's helpful to me, is that my master set a standard of wisdom that's so clear that it appeals to me, but the promise when he promised me, he promised my generation that the seniors, the elders would teach us, latecomers. That's what made me stick around for 4.5 years. And I realized after 4.5 years, gee, I'm not learning anything. This guy can't even teach Chan. Don't understand anything about Pure Land. They refuse to teach. And they don't seem to know what they're doing. And so after a while, now I look back and say, that's why I was there. I was there to learn the mechanics, to learn the traditional style of training from the Chinese, from the Chan master. But what they are supposed to teach me is don't do it. Don't do it like me. Okay? Do what I say, don't do what I do. Okay, and that's really helped me reconcile with the false promise, which appeared to be a false promise. Okay, so after that, I began to realize, I can learn from you, I can learn from you, learn from you. Okay, because you have your own perspectives, which help me understand where you're coming from. I also understand why they're not training the next generation. They can't train anyone. Okay, so I see all those things, and that's why learning can be either way. You learn from wisdom, or you learn from stupidity. That's a complete learning. You don't simply say that I only learn from wise people. It's not possible to always learn from wise people. You learn sometimes a lot more from stupid people. Sometimes stupid people help you understand why the sages teach us what they taught us. Did I answer the question? Okay, I've been accused recently of digressing and forgetting to answer the questions. Okay, back to 338. All mentioned above come to listen to the Dharma because they are either strict in precept, hasty in the vehicles, lax in precept, hasty in vehicles. Okay, so the key here is that you want to learn the vehicles. Then you want to learn to practice the vehicles vigorously, and you have a chance to be near the Dharma and the teachers. Yes, 3.
Thank you, Master. So for the eightfold division, who do they have protection? Who do they protect way places from? A demon or ghost, or is it further than that?
They protect from anyone who tries to cause problems that prevent us from cultivating. Okay? Meaning, for example, in your own personal case, you have a certain obstruction at home. They follow you here. You bring them here in your car. They ride on the top, on your car, on the roof of your car, or in the back seat. Just look behind, look in the mirror, and you see, oh yeah, it's the same one as last night. And so they follow you because they want to harass you. And then when they come to the temple, okay, two things happen. They can come in, but they must follow the rules, meaning they are not supposed to obstruct your cultivation. If they do, they'll be severely punished and thrown out. They're all given a chance. We don't say because you are a ghost, because you are yellow or white, you can't come in. There's no discrimination here. So everyone is allowed to enter. Truly, truly open doors. Okay? That's why it's funny, during COVID, the temples on outside looks closed, but actually beings keep on coming to practice. They're allowed to come. And many of you actually cheated. You rang the bell. You ring the bell. And then, I forgot that song. Ring my bell, something like that. Okay? I love music. Maybe I become Kinara to myself. Maybe I was a Kinara. Wait, I was a Kinara. I remember now. Okay. You look familiar? Do I look familiar, people? Okay. So actually, the temples are open 24 hours a day. Okay, and during the COVID, I know some of you, because you were fed up with your spouses and stuff, you took a drive and here I go, here my Great Mountain Temple. You walked in, you rang the doorbell, and we let you in. Yeah, come in. Did anyone see you? Okay, it's not like Jung's temple where they said no. You cannot come in. Don't bring the COVID to us. Don't kill us. We don't want to die because of you. For us, we're not afraid. Our Dharma protectors protect us, even against the COVID. COVID can't kill us. Are you kidding? If they kill us, then the Dharma protectors will be out of the job. Remember? They have work to do. Don't you know that? We have special protection because they need to have someone to protect. Otherwise, they become jobless. Okay? Even AI cannot replace them. So that's what happened. You come here. Case number one, you're in, and they have to cultivate, or they have to stand there and wait and watch us cultivate. No problem. Cannot cause any problems. You see, some of them are flying up there. Oh, look at these people. Oh, they're weird. Yeah. And then the second case is that some of them are troublemakers. They're stupid. And this is when these beings, without being told, they come and they grab them. Two of them will come and grab them by the armpits and escort them out gently. So imagine this. They lift them up. I'm serious. They lift them up and then escort them out to Emerson Place and drop them. That's what happens. That's their jobs. Okay? Of course, there are all sorts of beings. That's the eightfold division. There are all sorts of beings as well. But the primary ones are eightfold divisions. Okay, they're here. And I'm told that I also have some more in my house, a little bit bigger than the ones here, I'm told. Is that right? Okay, and so these beings here, they as long as we cultivate, you here to cultivate, you gain some protection and support. You here to cause problems, here to cause trouble, then of course, they will ignore you. Okay, and then eventually you leave on your own accord. You just find you have needles in your feet, in your butt. And oh, I'm not comfortable here. And you hop on your car and you run away because you have no protection. So actually, they're pretty stern. You don't follow the rules, they throw you out. We don't have to do anything. Okay? All right. Back to slide 338. So they practice the vehicle. That's the main thing. They could be lax. They could be hasty in precepts. Okay. At the beginning of the sutra, all 8 classes are present, meaning that they are mentioned because they hold a special place in the assembly. We know the point that I don't think the people realize it. Yeah, we keep on mentioning them is because there's no way that we can cultivate without their protection. It's not possible. Okay? The eightfold division have faith in the Dharma. Okay? They really have faith in the Dharma because they got results. This is why it's no doubt in my mind. Many of you will become eightfold divisions yourself. Okay? Some of you are, lax in precepts. Some of you are more serious about precepts, and so forth. But you practice the big vehicle Dharma. Therefore, you will understand the importance. And one day, you yourself will bring forth the resolve and say, I want to pay back, help these beings because they help me. All right? So they have faith in the Dharma, great, small. They practice small, practice great. They practice sudden or practice gradual, meaning great, small, meaning small vehicle, great vehicle. Sudden and gradual, meaning that Hinayana, Mahayana, or Mahayana, Mahayana. Sudden is Mahayana, Mahayana, if you will. Gradual is Hinayana, Mahayana. All right, next. Hey, San Jose people, can you begin to see difference between Hinayana, Mahayana versus Mahayana, Mahayana now? Okay, never mind. Let's not encourage them. They go off script. Together with bhikshus, bhikshunis, upasakas, and upasikas who also came to join the assembly.
诸比丘、比丘尼、优婆塞、优婆夷俱来会坐。
Okay, remember earlier in the text, they talked about the celestial beings and then followed by the eightfold division. You see the hierarchy? And now they mention bhikshus and bhikshunis. All right? So that's why don't get a big head. Just because you wear these garments doesn't mean that you're better than the Dharma protectors. Okay? They're cultivating just like us. 340, bhikshu, bhikshunis. And we talked about it before. The Sanskrit name means expel hunger, famine, men or women. The monks obtain fruitions of offerings, having planted blessings and virtues, and that's why they eradicate hunger and famine. Okay? Meaning that they are able, this is a key thing here, people don't seem to understand this. The key thing here is that the monks, the sunims, monks and nuns are able to cultivate because they have plenty of blessings and virtues. That's why now that they don these garbs, these special garbs, they don't have to endure famine. Okay? Meaning that they don't need to get a job. This is in a pure way. If you, of course, you can go get a job and so forth. That's what a lot of people do nowadays. But what I learned from Master YongHua is that he taught us not to have worry about that. He told many stories, many examples that stuck in my mind. You know, cultivators who would practice together and they run out of food. So they said, okay, we continue to cultivate. We're not going to worry about food. And so they practice and practice to the point where they're about to die of starvation. And all of a sudden, a couple peasants, old man, old woman, brought some 2 bowls of porridge for them to eat. So they're so happy. Hungry, and that thing, just a bowl of porridge is like heavily food for them. So they asked, how do you know about us? We're here hiding in this small house here, and no one knows about. Okay, and they said, last night we have a dream of being in golden thing, made of gold. Okay, who very adorned, very stern, very scary. He says, it's about time you plant some blessing for yourself. Men and women, old man and old woman, you should bring some food, some porridge to the house over there. There are a couple of cultivators who need food. So the old couples, they got up, cooked the porridge, put it in 2 bowls, and they brought them to the house. And surely enough, there are 2 monks cultivating there, okay, who are about to die of starvation. So that starvation is a test of their faith in the teaching. Is that clear? Don't tell me that, you loser, who say, but Master, you just said that they have blessing, they never go hungry. Isn't that what it says? No. Just because they don't go hungry, they won't die of hunger and famine doesn't mean they won't have to undergo hunger anymore. Because hunger is part of their training. Get it? San Jose people, I'm worried about you. You keep on distorting the Buddhist teachings and add more of your interpretations. Very, very crooked minds. Whatever I tell you, it's just like Alex here, you would twist it and add another twist. You said so, I said do A, but can I do A prime? Can I do A1, A2? No, I said do A. Losers. Anyway, got that? So the point is that actually I like this. This is part of the thing that stuck with me, that throughout my struggles, having no money, no food, no shelter, no nothing, okay, I said, well, if I'm supposed to die, I'll die. Okay, if at the end I can't do it anymore, I eternally I'll get married. Get my wife take care of me. Put her to work. Questions and comments? Also what I learned too, Dharma ending age, women are more competent, so we should become house husbands. Koreans say, that won't do. That's not Korean. Upasakas and upasikas. Okay? Sanskrit terms. Faithful male lay follower and female lay followers. They are good lodgers. Okay, why are they good lodgers? They don't share the same sleeping quarters. Okay, it's so interesting. The Buddhist teaching, good lodger. Okay, hasty in both precepts and vehicle. Hasty in precept leads to human path, meaning that Master YongHua says, keep the 5 precepts, you'll be reborn as humans. Okay? Hasty in vehicles leads to meeting the Buddha and hearing the Dharma as disciples. All right? You're laughing. You say, oh, this is so simple, straightforward. But think about it. How many people can be called upasakas, upasikas? These are special people. You're special people with tremendous blessings. A lot more than you give yourself credit for. Next. At that time, the Buddha taught the Dharma to the assembly of countless hundreds of thousands who were reverently surrounding him.
彼时，佛与无量百千之众恭敬围绕而为说法。
Okay, 343. At that time, the Buddha and to some verse, okay? This again, Tien Thai school, that they break down everything. This is separate introduction. Now it explains that the reason for manifestation are special signs and a narrative to indicate the intention expound the sutra. So importance are different from other sutras. So what it's talking about is that Buddhas, when they're about to speak important dharmas to us, the way they do it is that typically they manifest portents. They have certain manifestation like a light or flowers and so forth. So each sutra, each dharma they're trying to expound, they intend to expound, have different portents, different manifestations. So far, so good? Okay, so that's what Buddhas do. Don't ask why. This is what Buddhas do. Okay? So sort of prepare us. It's like when you see these portents in your mind, suddenly say, oh. And you see, you're so amazed. These portents are designed to amaze you. They're really fascinating. So right there, you become fascinated and say, oh wow, this is so cool. So Buddhas actually are very special, and that's why you put you in the proper frame of mind. Okay? So, point being that in the future, we're not Buddhas, so we don't do portents, but we can do light shows. Okay? Or, I don't know. Some sort of shows to signify some kind of importance. Okay? And this introduction can be divided by 2 parts. It says at the time, ... the Buddha, ... and a prose verse. So you see this text here. I asked my disciple to find me the text. I just wanted this thing here, end of the prose verse, but she gave me the entire thing. But thank you. Okay, go ahead and read it. Let me take a break. Since you put it there, you're not gonna, that's not make her feel sad that she's wasted time doing this. So go ahead and read it. Go Forrest.
Emitofuo Master, I have a question.
No.
The Apus the previously shown slide, Apusaka, that the faithful man and faithful woman. I think I read somewhere in the translation of the Vietnamese Sutra, it said, good men and faithful woman. Is it come from the Upasaka and Upasika?
Yeah.
And how could it be good men instead of faithful men?
I don't know. You always believe your Vietnamese translations. I don't mean to knock the Vietnamese translators, but you always believe them. I believe my Chinese text. Remember, old man, this is from the Tien Tai school text.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so you have to be careful when you read these texts to check the sources. Where did they come from? I stick with the sages, with the established people who have great wisdom to study them. I don't worry about how others translate, what others say. I stick to this, okay? And that's why I don't look at, that in the Vietnamese translation, Korean translation. I only look at the Chinese text first. All right? So I don't know why they stress good. It's not a bad concept, a good thing. But what matters here, in order for you to be able to attend this Vimalakirti assembly, okay, it's more than goodness that you need to have. So Master Tien Tai is basically saying that they're pure and faithful men, pure and faithful women. Okay? So they're pure. You need to have a certain level of purity before you're allowed in this assembly. And you need to have faith, because if your faith is not enough, you're not allowed in either. You don't deserve to be there. That's the teaching here. It's not so much about good or a translation. I love to look at the Chinese text for this reason, because there's lots of things that the Chinese sages, the great sages, are trying to relate to us, but it gets lost in the translation. So it's more than just translation. You need to look at the original text. Okay? So we don't need to go into why it's so good or why it happened or whatever. It's none of our business. All I want you to learn is that these people are special. Upasika, upasakas, and not regular upasakas. They are jing xin, the pure faith men, pure faith women. Not just faithful, but pure faith. Meaning the faith is incredible. Okay? There's no doubt in their minds. And I thank you for asking the question. I did not want to go too much into it, but because of your question, this is a reminder. These, for you, for these beings to be able there in the Buddha's presence, these are not ordinary laymen, lay women at all. Unlike us. Look at us, look at ourselves. Can we call ourselves, can you call yourself Jing Xin Shi? Jing Xin Nu. Can you call yourself pure faith woman? pure faith men. See? No one dare shake their heads and go for us. So that's the key. Okay? The key is your faith needs to be pure for you to be able to see and listen to the Buddha in person. So they're not ordinary laymen. Good question. I always compare to the Vietnam thing. You know. Okay, let's go back to your reading it. I give you a few minutes, then we stop. Unless you have any other questions for me to criticize you. Okay, DTT, have you learned anything today? Nothing, clearly. Jumi is prevented from asking any questions or saying anything, so she can no longer represent DTT. No, Jumi, you cannot text Cordelia and ask her to ask for you. Amazing. The only person who moves is Jumi. The rest have become wooden statues. No wonder Jumi wants to move to Gold Forest so desperately. She's living amongst wooden statues. Okay, I guess I don't feel like going to the next section. Okay? So let's stop here today. Thank you all for coming. See you next time.